So we got stuff moved out a little bit here already. Fixing to start tearing up the living room. We're going to start right here on this main wall, front wall. Start working this direction, jump into those bedrooms when we get right there, and get all that stuff done back there. Then we'll keep working this way. But we had this little piece here where it was covered, where they married the two together, and just from feeling with my foot, it feels like this left side, excuse me, feels like this side here is a little higher than this. So we're going to have to do a little something about it. When I get it all tore up, I'll see exactly how much it's off and see what we need to do to get it all nice and level. But anyway, floor should be in good shape. There is a squeak over here. I noticed, and father-in-law noticed. He says it drives him right there, here. Well, can't hear it now, but anyway, somewhere right in here, just a little squeaky. So anyway, we need to screw the floor down and make everything nice and solid and all that good stuff. But anyway, fixing to cut this vinyl up. It's a loose lay vinyl, so it should come up real fast, and the floor should be in really good shape. Okay, so we got basically this whole half done over here in the master bedroom, the master bath. That way, all that's done. I got to run base. Living room, bedroom still. I do have base already installed in here. This is all completely done. Everything, I did the staining and polyurethane to give it a, make it last real good, all that good stuff. Got this installed over to approximately here, but about past that doorway there. I was about right here, and I got up, walked on it, and I was like, man, I don't like that. Ended up pulling it up, fixing to float this side right here all out to give it a little bit of lift. It was just a little peaking. I did sand this down like crazy. Here, this side here was higher than this side. I sanded it down when I filled the gap right there. It was about 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches deeper than, or deep rather. I smashed it in there. I poked it in real good with my trowel, made sure it got all the way to the bottom so that it wasn't just going to fall down in there after we got it, after it dried, and there was a little movement and stuff like that. But still having just a little bit of movement going on there. I mean, not movement, a little higher here than here. So what happened whenever I put this down, this next run, this joint right here seemed to be raised up just a little bit because it dipped down a little bit over here. So as a matter of fact, I might even pull one more row up here, not to get back in there or into that room, but just to expose a little bit more of this to get a little bit more over here. So that's probably what I'll do. I already had all that running there and everything. You can see all of these. This is a 5/8 subfloor that we're working on here, because it's mobile, and we're going through and screwing the entire floor. That's why we got all of our marks on the boards, so we can go through and screw everything down rather than just leaving what we're going over. The nails, a lot of their nails were actually over to the side of the marks, like that right there. You can see how far over it is from an actual screw that caught right here. So, you know, I'm sure that didn't hit at all. I'm sure nothing under it. There was just a bunch of that. So this at least sturdied everything up. There was some creaking and popping in the floor that just would not leave. And I determined that it was something on the metal framing of the main platform that the trailer sat on. So I went underneath, cut the plastic, pulled the insulation down a little bit, and was able to take care of that. But tape all the plastic up, put the insulation back, and all that. So we were able to take care of it. And it wasn't like, again, and it was the main bracket, or there's a main beam right down the center of this, all the way down. And it was squeaking right on that as it moved. So I went under there and put shims in, drove them in, put screws in them so they wouldn't fall out over time. And that'll keep that from squeaking on that metal. But now, again, fixing to float this out and get rid of that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we are ready to take off again. We had about a 2-hour delay there. It wasn't necessarily a delay because while we was waiting on this to dry, I ran all the base and stuff in the living room. So you can see right there. And then yeah, so got all that base done while I was waiting on this stuff to dry. So not really wasted time, just to change of plans. Anytime we're scribing something out like this right here around a cabinet or something like that, if it's built up 2 layers, like you got it placed on top of the other one, or even if it's just 1 layer, if you have your scribe board slanted, it either gets longer or shorter. So, or shorter rather, if you got it at an angle like that, see how it gets shorter? Watch this, see that? So it gets shorter. So the best accuracy is to have it completely flat, level with the plank. And if you just take your little scrap piece right there, set your scribe board right on it, and especially with the core tape, because it's got cork on the back of it on both pieces, it kind of slides real nice and easy with it. So keeps it nice and level, keeps your accuracy. If you're going for a 1/4 inch exactly like that, nice and accurate, slides real easy. Okay, we are working on it, son. We got it going on. Got it all the floor done finally. Got to come back and put base down in this room. We got this all done. I'm going to be using the ollie trim lines at the tub. And I got some shoe mold. It ain't even shoe mold. It's like little 1/2-inch pine. Right there is what I'm going to do around the cabinets and such. Boy, look at that's like a dead match on that cabinet. And all the trim work. Man, I'm super happy with the way it matched up. These are 46-degree cut, 44-degree cut on the same corner. Everything turned out nice. I'm real happy with the matching of everything. Everything matches really good. And had to do a little notchy notch right there because the lip on that, and then the same thing there, little notch on that, and at the bottom on that one too. And all my corners, they all got coped, so all of them are nice. Really, coping is the best way to do some corners. Don't matter what kind of trim you're doing. If you cope it, you're going to have some nice corners. That's all there is to it. It don't matter if it's a true 45 or it don't matter what it is. I did some 22-degree copes on that other job and they turned out beautiful. Anyway, let's see here. This is it. Again, I'm fixing to put this furniture back here. It goes over here. And then I will have base to do in the master bedroom back to there. And right over here, and then do all the little transitions. So all of these rooms, we didn't do closets in any of these rooms. I didn't want to deal with moving all the stuff out of them, so we got to make transitions. I will be making transitions to do all of these custom transitions. I won't be doing the ollie tram lines in these. I will make some custom transitions for all these rather than using the ollie tram lines. That way I can make them perfect. I'm not saying the ollie tram lines ain't perfect, but you know what I'm saying. They're beautiful. Anyway, let's put some furniture back and be done. What about it? You want to be done?
Yes.
Let's be done.